Hey guys, hello everyone. Good morning. Happy Sunday here from the Philippines. How's everybody doing? We are live again to answer we are live again to answer some questions with regards to travel updates to the Philippines, immigration concerns. I will answer as long as I can and other travel related questions. So I'm ready to answer that. If you have any questions, just type it in our chat box. If you are here in our live, and we'll answer them one by one. Seems like my internet is loading. So hello to our 4 watchers at the moment. So how's everybody's week doing? How was your week? Was it good or why does it keep loading? Good day, Willie White. Good morning. What?
Used to have a dog named Willie White.
Oh. Yep, pretty much the same as much as travel. It's weird because they are so quiet right now. It's like there seems to be they are seem to be so quiet with travel updates and stuff. Good morning, Mark Gallanders, James Adventures, near and far Philippines. Hello to you guys. Oh my god, it's loading. So we'll start answering questions when there's oh yeah, it's I have been keeping an eye on new updates and stuff, but seems to me they have been so quiet lately. There's really not much change, like James said. It really is. There's really not much change, and I was like, everybody say about I don't see any change until election time, but you have to realize their party is very strong, and they are cooking up something to hand it on or pass it on to the same party with the president at the moment. So I don't really think with the reputation of the other parties, you call it liberal parties over here if you want to be too technical about it. If we compare it to the states, they are the Democrats over here. I don't really see Democrats would stand a chance, or the liberal parties in the Philippines would stand a chance to take the presidency seat anymore, because they have already shown their true colors. They have already shown their
Inability.
inability to run the country. It's like this country has been run with liberals for several years and nothing has happened. It's like you'll be surprised if a liberal gets into the office, Philippines will be in the toilet. I can tell you that now. So if if there is one that would uh if there's really somebody that would take the presidency seat, that would do it right and stuff, it's not from the liberal party. Because I know everybody will say I get this a lot, that this will change after election. I don't really think it would, because if you're aiming for liberal parties to take the presidency seat, they won't stand a chance. I can already tell you that. So when a Pinay is leaving for another country, do they need to take a course? Well, what do you mean course? What type of course? What course?
You had to.
You had what?
Remember that little class you had to take?
Oh, the CFO. Yeah, if you are a first time immigrant in a different country, or first time traveler to a different country, you have to undergo a seminar. This is the CFO. I forgot the meaning of CFO. Hang on one second. I forgot the CFO. Not the Chief Financial Officer. CFO Seminar for Immigrants. Hmm. Commission on Filipinos overseas. So that is the seminar that you have to attend to. I have been to one when I was at a K1 visa mark, and they will give you a sticker, and that will be checked at the airport, because if you don't have it, you will not be allowed to leave the country. So it's a 1 day seminar that you attend. Then after that, you will be given a sticker that will be attached on your passport, and that will be checked when you depart from the Philippines. But yes, that is, if that's what you meant, the Commission on Filipino Overseas. Yes, if you are a first time immigrant, first timer to leave the country, then yes, you will have to attend that seminar. What is population protection? I've heard that a few times already in the Philippines. Is it the same as herd immunity? Pretty much. They're just changing the terms on it. One question: government help OFW free swab testing, not residents Filipino need to pay. Yes, for OFWs, overseas Filipino workers, everything is paid for by the OWA, the Overseas Welfare Workers Association, which is also a government agency, a branch of the government, as a member of it. But if you are a returning overseas Filipino, just a resident outside the resident of a particular country and stuff, you will shoulder all the expenses. Internet slow for you. You is your internet provider. Yes, PLDT Mark. PLDT, and they, oh my god, they are. Shout out po ma'am, watching from the mom, Saudi Arabia. Musta na po? Pag fully vaccinated ka na, wala na ba quarantine sa Pinas? Thanks mom. Hi Bert Moreno from the mom, Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately po, Sir Bert, even if you are a fully vaccinated traveler, you will still have to undergo the quarantine and arrival protocol sa Pilipinas. If you are coming from the green list, which I think Saudi is not part of the green list, then you will still have to go through the longer quarantine. Doon sa mga country, doon sa mga travelers from green list, will only do the 7 days quarantine. Hello sis, may new protocol ba ngayon for arrival spouse foreigner using 9A visa? As is pa rin siya, Marlisa, for 9A visa holders. They need to have the entry exemption document. Hindi pa yun siya nililift. So if you are a 9A visa holder, you still need to have the entry exemption document, which takes so long to get. Some really gets some got successful securing it, but some are still on the waiting period of getting it. So for Yeah, Governor Gwen seems to be the only one with her head on right. I would agree to a point, but politicians, when it's getting close to election, you will hear all the good stuff, all the great doings that they would show you to impress you because election time is coming up. We all know that. That's how when an election is coming up, politicians will be like saint, doing all the good stuff and stuff to be reelected and get voted again. But after election, then it's all back to business as usual. Anyway, still waiting. It will be 2 years since I've been with my fiance. Hopefully, to avoid offloading. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, if she's a first time traveler abroad, if your fiance is a first time traveler abroad, or your wife is a first time traveler abroad, she still, if she really needs to undergo that seminar, the Commission on Filipino Overseas, that's mandatory. So nobody can really skip that process. So she needs to undergo that. Hi, madam. What are the requirements for foreign children or dual citizen transferring school in Pinas for elementary? Thank you. With my kids, we did not really because well, they started here and they are dual citizens. So I would inquire at the school what the requirements are. But with my kids, when they went to school over here, they just needed their birth certificates and that's all. So if your kids has already gone to school in the States and wants to transfer here in the Philippines, I would talk to the school that you are enrolling them to and ask for the requirements. But I don't think you will have a problem with it. Just waiting to see when Americans can travel to the Philippines. True, it happened here this year. Yeah, so it's like we should all know how politicians work when it's getting close to election time and when election time is over. So it's a rotation for them. It's like you will see how active they are. You will see how profound they are when raising concerns and stuff, or making them look like a hero on a situation when they jump into it and giving all this and the idea this and that. It's election time. It's like I've learned that trick a long time ago. That's what most politicians do. Hello,
Politics.
it's yeah, like my husband said, it's politics. Hello, ma'am. Question lang po. How to get 9A visa? Where they send it? My husband from US, and how to get DFA exemption? Ano po bang requirements po? Anne Marie, I have uploaded a video on how to secure an entry exemption document. You have to send or request it from the Philippine Embassy in your husband's area or where he's under jurisdiction to. So, kailangan niyang i-search yon kung saan siya belong na Philippine Consulate kasi by state may ano yan, may assignment where the what do you call this? Where the jurisdiction is ng particular state. So, he needs to research on that kung saan siya belong, kung sa Chicago ba, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, Washington, Houston, ganyan. So he needs to research on that. And then he can apply. And we have videos on how to secure a 9A visa and how to secure an entry exemption document po sa travel update videos natin. My boyfriend is flying to Philippines today with 9A visa and EED, but have to quarantine in Manila for 10 days. Yes, good for you, Princess Aguas. If you don't mind asking, how long did your boyfriend acquire the entry exemption document? And you said boyfriend. I assume you guys have kids together? Yeah, it's like there are successful travelers who secure the entry exemption document. It's a matter of patience because their processing time is really long. To those two subscribers that I have talked to who successfully secured their entry exemption document, it took 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks before they got approved with their entry exemption document along with their 9A visa. So it does exist, just like Princess said. So, but yeah, that's the protocol in the Philippines. If you are, even if you are, if even if you are fully vaccinated, even if you are fully vaccinated, and not coming from the green list country, then you will have to undergo the 10 days quarantine. If you are fully vaccinated, coming from the green list country, then you will only undergo 7 days quarantine. But like they said, that the green list will be expanded accordingly. So we will wait for the expansion, and hopefully on the next expansion on the list, USA will be on it. It took 2 months. Yes, we have a daughter. Yeah, that's what I thought too. So you can apply for an entry exemption document if you are a spouse of a Filipino national, if you are a foreign parent of a Filipino national, meaning you guys are not married yet but you have a kid, you can secure a 9A visa and an entry exemption document. And according to Princess, it took 2 months. If you don't mind, which Philippine consulate did you guys apply to? I know you guys have to request at the DSWD too because you guys have a kid. Is that correct? Hey Mike, good evening po from Houston. Hello Mike, good evening. Canada is opening end of September for non-essential visitors. That's really good. But entering Canada is entering Canada requires a visa as well. So I don't know the approval rate of Canada when it comes to tourist visa. May biyahe po ba Manila to Dubai?
Said
Hmm.
flights are opening back up to the United States on the 25th through Philippine Airlines.
Oh, yeah, they have daily na. Which airline, Jovelyn? Hello, what can you say about this? About what, Princess? Jenny's lifetime vlog. Thanks, Puma, for always keeping us updated. You're very welcome. Sponsorship visitor visa. Yeah, it's like that's also one thing that if your country, I mean the boyfriend's country, is open for non-essential travel already, and if I'm sorry, my nose is running today. And if you can sponsor your girlfriend and she gets approved for a visa, that's really great that she could come to your country. So I don't think Canada is a lot more stricter than the US because I know US when it comes to tourist visa, it's a little bit hard to secure. But I'm not sure with Canada. I think Canada is a lot looser when it comes to uh, approving tourist visa. I believe. My relatives is leaving USA to Cebu to Manila. Now, Philippine Airlines told her 7 days quarantine Cebu, 7 days quarantine in Manila. Is that true? Hmm. 7 days. Their final destination is in Manila, but they are landing in Cebu. As far as I know, when you land in Cebu, and if you are not a resident of Cebu, you have to undergo a 10 days mandatory quarantine. And when your final destination is in Manila, you have to coordinate with your LGU. That way they can monitor you for the last 4 days, for the last remaining 4 days of your quarantine at home. That's what I know when your final destination is in Manila. 7 days. I don't seven. It's like USA. The only people that would undergo 7 days quarantine is if you are coming from the green countries, and unfortunately, USA is not part of the green countries. I'm sorry. Good evening, Cap. I didn't realize you were there. According to Mike, he's always here, Mike. Connection. I it's like that is like it's like you're landing in Cebu and few hours you fly to Manila. That does not work anymore because of pandemic. So if they are landing in Cebu, they have to undergo the quarantine and arrival protocol in Cebu before they can proceed to their final destination in Manila. They will have to rebook their flight to Manila because they will now have to undergo quarantine and arrival protocol in Cebu. It's like connection flights does not work anymore this time during pandemic. Ma'am, anong mga airlines po ba ang bumabiyahe papuntang Dubai from Manila? Philippine Airlines, Emirates, Qatar, Cebu Pacific. But its next flight leaves in 2 hours. It's like, I'm telling you now, princess, it's not gonna work like that anymore. For sure, when they arrived in Cebu, they will be quarantined before they can proceed to their final destination. Like I said, connection flights does not work anymore during the pandemic. So if you land in Cebu, they have to undergo the quarantine first, swab test. When negative results are in, they finish their quarantine before they can proceed to their final destination. So Philippines going to open in December. That's what they said because that's their goal, to have everybody or to have 70% of the population vaccinated by December. She is Filipino. So wrong. That is the protocol in Cebu right now. Hi po, kailan po mag-open ang Boracay for couple LDR? It's on the works. They said they have been in full force vaccinating the people of Boracay because they wanted to copy what Phuket, Thailand is doing. So when when they finally have done that, so we await for their announcement. Ma'am, hindi ko alam anong airlines ngayon ang bumabiyahe papuntang Dubai. Advice, ma'am. Jovelyn, Philippine Airlines, may flight sila to Dubai, Cebu Pacific, Emirates, Qatar Airways. Meron po silang mga biyahe papuntang Dubai. So wrong to us. She paid for flight already. Yes, it's like I wish sometimes airlines would, even if you look at the what do you call this, the even if you look at the process or the steps traveling to the Philippines with Philippine Airlines, that's what it said. Hi po, Cebu po ilang araw yung quarantine. 10 days pa rin, Regen. It's still 10 days. Kasi Cebu has to follow the IATF resolution, the 10 days quarantine. If you are coming from the green country, then green list country, then you undergo 7 days. They have to For Cebu residents, you have to you will be swabbed upon arrival, then you will proceed to your hotel for quarantine. When your swab test results are in, especially if it's negative, you will be sent home. But this is only for Cebu residents. Then you will continue your quarantine at home. Then on the 7th day, somebody from the DOH is going to go to your house and re-swab you guys again for COVID-19. Hi ma'am, good morning po. Ask ko lang, if boyfriend po mag-sponsor as tourist, ano ang requirements ko po to Sweden? You have to, Rachel, punta ka sa Sweden Embassy. For sure, andun yung requirements for tourist visa to Sweden. And I know Sweden is not so strict when it comes to tourist visa, especially if you have a sponsor. So, punta ka sa website ng Sweden Embassy, kasi andun, for sure, andun yung requirements nila. I'm here now in Davao. Yes, as far as I know, merong flights to Cebu, Cebu Pacific, may flight sila to Dubai, Emirates, ganyan. Qatar, I know Qatar Airways lands in Cebu. If they do 300 vaccination per day for 150, they will hit for if that is what they are doing now. I think they are up to 375,000 vaccination per day now in the Philippines. That is their goal, especially that the vaccines stocks are continuously coming into the country. So the stocks right now are continuously provided from donations from different countries. So that is their goal. Just like I think 2 days ago, they have reached 375,000 vaccinations per day. So I think that is what the Philippines is aiming. If they could do 300 plus a day, then the herd immunity is a lot easier to achieve. Heading to Maldives next Saturday to see my friend. Say she is in Philippines. I am from USA. Any other countries we can travel that you know of? Thanks. Keep up the good work. I am actually working on that list of countries that accepts that are open for tourists, that are open for fully vaccinated tourists without restrictions, without quarantine. So bear with me on the list, and I'm gonna upload that very soon, Daniel. Can't believe our president is running for vice president. Shaking my head. I'm not really into when it comes to travel update. I try to avoid politics on my vlog because politics is very dirty. So I try to separate politics to my travel update in our channel, because if I mix it with politics, then the sense of giving travel updates to the Philippines is not, you know what I'm saying. I was like, it should be separate. I will have an opinion about it, but I try not to mix politics with my vlog. Maybe new protocols in September. She is coming in October. We shall see, because they have guidelines every 15 days. They update every 15 days on the guidelines. So they do the 2 weeks mark on what's going on, especially in NCR. Their cases there is already decreasing, so we will never know. Thank you po. Me and my husband will travel next month. Need po ba niya ang 9A visa for him? If a foreign spouse is traveling with the Filipino national, hindi niya kailangan ang 9A visa, region. Uh ano, unless magbago ang protocol sa Philippines. But if the protocol is still the same by the time you fly to the Philippines, he doesn't need the 9A visa as long as he's traveling with you. Just make sure you guys bring your marriage certificate. Meron po ba kayo idea kung kailan po bubuksan for foreign tourists in the Philippines? Sabi nila December. So we shall see. Her husband has been waiting for exemption letter for 4 months. Yeah, it really depends on the consulate. Some gets approved for 2 months, some gets approved longer. Thank you. Please say hello to your polar bear or husband. Polar bear. Oh, maybe I'll start calling him that. Polar bear, Daniel, said hello.
Hello.
Shall cover your. I understand, mom. Just say. I know. It's fine. I'm just being honest too. Hello, I'm an American and my wife is Filipino. I haven't seen her for over 1.5 years. Please, when will I be able to be with my wife? You can actually apply, Jeff. You can actually, while waiting, this is what I keep saying to those for I will be making a video on I will be making a video on foreign nationals that are allowed to enter the Philippines this time. So the one of the category that are allowed to enter the Philippines are foreign spouses of Filipino national, foreign parent, meaning you guys are not married but you guys have kids. You are allowed to enter the Philippines as long as you will secure the 9A visa and the entry exemption document. Granted, the entry exemption document is a pain to secure, but while waiting, start the process. That way, you are waiting for something. Because if you will just wait till the Philippines is going to open up the border, then you're gonna wait for a while. My advice to those foreign nationals who are allowed to enter the Philippines: one, foreign spouses of Filipino national, the husband, the foreigner, is in the other country, the wife is in the Philippines. You can enter the Philippines by securing the 9A visa and entry exemption document. So, since you are waiting already for the Philippines to open up, why not apply for that requirement to be able to you might be able to enter the Philippines earlier than you expect.
Besides that, stop and think about the number of people that are going to be trying to enter the Philippines when they finally do open up.
True. When the Philippines has when the Philippines is finally going to open for everybody, that's going to be chaos. So when you don't want to be on that group to try to enter the like I keep saying this because when is the Philippines going to open for husbands of a Filipino national, a father of a Filipino? I was like, you guys can enter for quite a while now. You guys are allowed to enter for quite a while now. You just need to secure the 9A visa and the entry exemption document. And I keep saying, yes, it's a pain to secure that entry exemption document, but you guys are waiting anyway. So while waiting, get that application submitted. That way you are waiting for something by the end of the day, or like others, they got approved in 2 months, they got approved in 6 months. So you guys are waiting the same timeline. So it's either you get approved with an it's either you get approved with the EED and 9A visa, or the Philippine borders will finally open. So it's a win-win. So why not start the process now? I'm not mad. I'm just trying to recommend the easiest route, or that you guys can enter the Philippines. What is the requirements entering in Manila through Korean Air? Korean Air. Korean Air. Please go to Korean Airlines website, because each airline now has requirements or has steps on what you need to do in able to fly to the Philippines. Thank you, Mom, because I can't wait to see my fiancé coming back to the Philippines. God bless you. Why polar bear? Who suggested polar bear? Oh, Daniel. I don't know why polar bear. Because he's probably tall and big, polar bear, like a bear. So that's probably why. He doesn't take offense to that.
I've been called much worse.
Like he said, he's been called much worse. So he doesn't take offense easily.
Especially by my wife.
Talk. What's the update of traveling to the Philippines, Vincent? The same. It's like it's been so weird that they are so quiet lately. It's really weird because probably they're too busy preparing for the election already. So thank you for understanding. You're very welcome, Princess. Yeah, but you can't get a 9A visa without exemption letter. Yes, it has to be both. It has others applied it together. To be honest, they submitted the entry exemption document the same with the requirements of the 9A visa. Hi Maria. How are you guys? We're doing good, just chilling because it's Sunday. It's our day off, no work today. The DFA didn't approve because said it wasn't an emergency. So they have been fighting with them. There's the one of our subscribers is kind enough to share the process that they did. And I think it matters on the request letter from the husband and the wife. If the wife can also make a request letter that she really needs her husband here in the Philippines, that works. Make it look like it's really an emergency. Make it look like that it's really crucial that your husband needs to be in the Philippines. Do that letters like why do you need your husband here in the Philippines? Don't just answer because that's not good enough for them. It's think of it like it's a do or die situation that you need to be that your husband needs to be in the Philippines because that's what they did. Sorry, my girls calls polar bear because I am a tall white guy. My girl calls polar bear. Wait, I we usually call him Timber. Timber. I think that's it, Timber. But mom, don't we in the US have to have the tickets and booked room before we can apply for this DFA? If so, how? No, that's not true. That's like there is no requirements on the DFA exemption, entry exemption that you need to have the ticket and book room. That's not included in the requirements. On the DFA exemption on the video that I have uploaded, you need your marriage certificate, you need the letter of request to the DFA, address to the DFA, the bio page of your US passport, the bio page of your wife Philippine passport, barangay clearance which proves that your wife is in the Philippines. That's it. With the 9A visa, you need to have the ticket, but you can just what do you call this? You don't need to buy the ticket to submit for the 9A visa. You have what was the term on that? That you don't need to that the itinerary is like you can just search a flight online and print an itinerary to submit for a 9A visa. That's what everybody is doing because if you buy a ticket right away and submit it, they don't need a confirmed ticket and a confirmed hotel booking yet for a 9A visa. That's wrong. It's like they don't require that. Which embassy, which consulate told you that, Wayne? The flights are very expensive like hell, especially to non-OFWs because we're gonna shoulder every single thing. True, this is because of the travel cap to the Philippines. This is why flights are very expensive. The travel cap to Manila is 2,000 a day, 2,000 passengers per day. The what do you call this? In Clark, it's 1,200. I heard it's up to 1,500 now. And uh, in Cebu, it's 300. You're smart, mom. Thank you for everything. Very welcome. Hi, Eaton Squad. Hi, Sarah May Fajardo. I can't come because my husband don't want the 10 days quarantine. Uh-oh. That's the thing too. I think that's what everybody is holding back, the 10 days quarantine. So does my wife actually need a passport too? I don't think it's required, Wayne, for the requirements. If she's got other government IDs that you guys can print, I think the Philippine passport is just to prove she's a Filipino or somewhat like that. But if she's got Other valid IDs like SSS, Teen ID, any government IDs, and also include her birth certificate. That would do it. Because as far as I know, they don't require the hotel booking just yet. They don't require the paid ticket. You can do an unpaid ticket on your 9A visa. It's like that's like if it's like if they require a paid ticket, then they better process it faster, because they're not the ones who's going to pay for your rebooking and stuff if they don't get approved your visa before you fly. My wife just flew into the Philippines. We ended up using the Pampanga pickup option. The hotel was a quarantine hotel but was not the government approved list. Korea almost did not let her to come to Manila. She is safe at quarantine hotel in Pampanga from Manila. Are you guys from Pampanga, the amateur player? Because they have the Pampanga pickup option also that you guys can use. How about po uwi kami together? But after 1 month, kailangan niya bumalik ng US. Then balik siya ulit ng Pilipinas. Do we need a 9A visa? Yes. Well, because yung the balikbayan and stuff, one-time entry lang kasi yan. So if he's going home and come back to the Philippines, then yes, he would need the 9A visa and the entry exemption document. Can a Filipino go to Hong Kong and meet her husband there and fly back as a transit with an American? Are you guys married? If you are married, then you can do that. But if not, I don't think they will let him in. No need anything from the Philippine embassy. My wife gets 3 meals a day and 10-day quarantine hotel. Ended up spending $89. Is that for 10 days? Amateur? Oh, okay. So that's the thing. If you guys are from Pampanga, you can actually avail the Pampanga pickup option. But if you are not from Pampanga, I don't think they will allow you to do that. That's why I ask if you guys are from Pampanga. If you are a Pampangueño, your final destination is in Pampanga, you can avail the Pampanga pickup option. But if you're not from Pampanga, I don't think they will let you avail that service. Me and my fiance changed plan instead of he will living here for good. We will get married once the travel tourist open, then apply spousal visa. Patience is a virtue. Yep. Patience is a virtue. $89 per day. So the dollar now is at 50, 51. Let's say 50. 89 times 50. That's with meal. That's 4,450 with meal. Still over $1,000 for 10 days, no? We had to go through the Pampanga certified process, which was actually easy. Yeah, like I said, if your final destination is in Pampanga, you can actually avail that service. But if you are not from Pampanga, I don't think they will let you avail the service. But thank you guys so much for all those questions. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'm able to answer all those questions. I know it's annoying. I know it's really hard with the travel restrictions to the Philippines right now. Especially the government is it's weird that they are so quiet lately with travel restrictions to the Philippines. And now Indonesia is part of the travel ban to the Philippines because of the surge of Delta variant over there. So we will probably expect a stricter protocols again to the Philippines for travelers from Indonesia. But actually, despite with all the strict protocols, despite with mandatory quarantine and swab testing, News flash, bad news, 16 cases of Delta variant is already in the Philippines. I have posted that in our community yesterday. 16 cases and they are local. So I don't know where they got it from. For I'm really beginning to think that this is airborne because if the Delta, Indonesia and Philippines are very close. You can actually travel by a boat, like a pump boat from Indonesia entering the Philippines. So 16 new cases of Delta variant here in the Philippines, and they are local. So that's not good. That's not looking good. So, the DOH, when this new variant comes into the Philippines, they freak out and they will implement stricter quarantine protocols to the Philippines again because of this. So we will expect the worst because of this Delta variant already. So if you guys have more questions, I'm still here to answer it. And thank you so much for the 37 watchers here at the moment. Thank you guys for being with me today. If you have any specific questions with travels or immigration, I will answer that for you as long as I know. As long as I know the answer. So like I said, there's really not much update lately. Don Ware from Montana, USA. Hello, Don. LDR is one of the group of people are suffering. True. Do your reading and make sure of the process before you travel. My wife mentioned there was 20 plus people that did not have hotel or anything. Yes, when traveling to the Philippines, it's really important that you coordinate with your LGU, coordinate with the airline, know the latest, upmost travel update to the Philippines because they change very quickly. That's what we did when we traveled back then. I have researched everything. I have called. I have emailed. It's like get those T's crossed and I dotted before you fly to the Philippines. Because you might be surprised when you get to the airport, you are not allowed to travel. So, like the amateur player said, do your reading and make sure of the process before you travel. Yep, I agree to that. Hello from Montana, USA. Hello, Dawn. Any new news on Boracay travel bubble? No, not yet at the moment. Because when I uploaded that video, the Department of Tourism was interviewed 2 days ago before that when I uploaded. So right now they are really working on vaccinating at least 70% of the people in the island. Some of them get sent back home. Yes, that's true. It's like if you are not updated with the travel update or the latest travel protocols to the Philippines, you will be sent back because there's a lot of process that you need to go through. There's a lot of paperwork that you need to prepare, fill out, registered, and stuff. If you don't do that, then you will be sent back home. I'm still hoping for December flight. Might cost more, but it's okay. I really want to see my Filipina fiance. I know, Jeremy. And usually December is very expensive. Ma'am, ban po ba ang Dubai to Phuket, Thailand to Bangkok, Bangkok to Manila? Dubai. I don't think Dubai. Is Dubai United Arab Emirates ba ang Dubai? No? Dubai United Arab Emirates? Ang ano ko naman, Diyos ko. Dubai UAE, correct? Dubai is part of UAE, right? Just ko, I don't know the Yeah, I think Dubai is part of UAE, and unfortunately, UAE is currently on travel ban until end of this month, July 31. So, kasi titingnan nila yan, Kuya Ed, kung saan ka originally coming. Kasi kahit dadaan ka ng Phuket, Thailand to Bangkok, kasi titingnan nila yung last 14 days na travel history mo. So pag nalaman nila you came from Dubai, UAE, di ka papapasukin. I'm from US. Do you think by December okay na? Hopefully, that's what they are aiming for. Make hard copies of the codes from websites, emails from confirmation, and don't depend on Wi Fi. They were sent back home on their own. Yes, very true. Don't rely on technology just like we did. I know they sent the email for QR code and stuff. Always have a printed copy on hand because what if your phone gets low bat, no Wi Fi, and stuff, then that's going to be chaos. Like the amateur playing said, make sure you have printed copies of the requirements going to the Philippines. Good thing I have a good job and can work overtime. True. Yes, ganun ang mangyayari, Kuya Ed. Can a dual citizen from Canada come home to Manila? Is the Balikbayan visa program still on? Only has Canadian passport and valid. Just like you don't have Philippine passport, your valid dual citizen papers should let you into the Philippines. You don't need to. You will not be given the Balikbayan visa. Only a Balikbayan visa is only given to former Filipinos, those who did not apply for dual, those who did not reinstate their dual citizenship. But for you, you can stay in the Philippines for as long as you want to using your Canadian passport and your valid dual citizenship paperwork. Yep, UAE is off limits. Opo, ma'am. Flight ko po kasi sa 28. Kuya Ed, yung ban from UAE is until July 31. Unless you are part of the repatriation program of the Philippine government. Kung yung flight mo is a special flight provided by the Philippine government, yun yung repatriation program, then you will be allowed entry into the Philippines. Pero kung ikaw lang yung nag-book and stuff, hindi po pwede. Kahit dumaan ka sa Phuket or sa Bangkok, kasi titingnan yung they will check the last 14 days travel history mo. So if they find out that you came from UAE, hindi ka nila papapasukin. Got a mobile Bluetooth printer. I have one. It's a great thing to have. Cool. That's really cool. I from Bakersfield, California. Just checking in for changes. Sounds like December before I can go. Everybody is really looking at December because December, the peak season of the Philippines when it comes to tourists are summertime. That's from March until June. Then it starts again like October to December because of the holidays. So hopefully December. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Kuya Ed, kasi yung the travel ban is extended again until July 31. Thank you. You're very welcome. I called Canada. It's still not on the green list, correct? Yes, Canada is not on the green list. Okay po, salamat po, ma'am. God bless po. Ingat po lagi kung saan ka po. Salamat, Kuya Ed. Pasensya na I don't have good news for you. I wish it would have a lot better news, pero nag-extend kasi sila. I thought the travel ban is going to end or lifted last July 15, but unfortunately, in-extend po nila yon until end of this month. Do the swab test and make sure it's negative. My wife was asked in Delta. Yes, the Philippines does not really require negative swab test result prior to your flight, but airlines require it. Like Amateur said, Delta requires it. Eva Airlines requires it. Emirates, Qatar. Philippine Airlines doesn't require it, but most foreign airlines require a negative swab test result before departure. That's within 72 hours. So, It's very hard for Philippines to open this December as the percentage of those vaccinated are less than 10%, and the Philippines wants it more than 70%. True, but right now the supply of the vaccines are really good. It's really coming faster than before. So their goal now is to have Filipinos vaccinated, that they want to vaccinate uh citizens here. Their goal is 300,000 plus a day. If they do that, if that's their goal on a daily basis, then it's possible that they will achieve that. Can I get SRRV from without travel? No. You have to apply here, Daniel. You have to apply for the SRRV visa in the Philippines. Yes, Korean Airlines also requires it. Like I said, most foreign airlines requires a negative RT-PCR test before departure. Do I need a visa to visit the Philippines from US if I'm staying 25 days? Hopefully it's open at that time. It really depends. I'm not because before, if a foreigner travels to the Philippines, uh they were given 30 days visa free. But I don't know what's going to be the course when Philippines has finally opened for everybody, if that's going to be the same. So nobody really knows the process. I hope they open sooner. What's the point of closing? This virus is going to stay with us like the flu. We have to live and carry our lives. True. It's very true, Kenzo. I couldn't agree more with that statement. But they don't look at it like that. Especially the Department of Health here in the Philippines. They are making such a big deal on it. It's like they so what do you call that? They're so anal with, oh, that's a bad word, I don't think. They're so they are very perfectionist when it comes to the process. They are very they need it to be this strict so we can. I was like, they are very strict with protocols and stuff, but here we go. We have the Delta variant already in the country. So here's a thought. If you have a proof of starting a K1 application and vaccinated, come to the Philippines before December. Where did you get that, Jess? Or at least be allowed first. True, that's true. Okay, thank you. Then I will wait for K1 to go through. They received it November last year. Oh my God, December, November, December, June. Eight. USCIS has already resumed the process of visas. They are working on the backlog, just like the IRS. My God, the US is so behind. Not just immigrant visas and stuff. Not just the USCIS is behind. Even IRS is so behind. My goodness. But they have, yes, they have resumed the process of visas again with the USCIS, but they are working on the backlog. So those who just applied, you will probably have to wait longer because they are processing those who were on hold when they stopped the process during Trump administration. So when Biden administration came in, they have resumed to that. They have resumed the process. They have now started to accept applications again, new applications of visas. But like I mentioned, they are processing the backlogs from where they stop. By the way, will there be LDR live stream tonight, 8 p.m.? I don't know.
More than likely.
More than likely, though. What would be our topic tonight? Kenzo, to be honest, it kind of threw me off the last LDR, last Sunday's LDR, because some are rude to our guests. And I know the LDR discussion has nothing to do with the travel restrictions to the Philippines and stuff. But me and my husband took the time to do that, to give a break to the stress that this travel restriction has brought, especially to LDR couples. But that was, I think that was treated not nicely. That was even questioned why we're even doing it. And to be honest, it was actually a request from our subscribers who are on LDR relationship. And it's just sad that people would do that, that would think that they would question you that how is it related to travel update.
A lot of people are going to question everything you do.
I know
If
it's
you live your life worried about the way questions go, you'll never get anything done.
I know it's like you can't just please everybody. But any word on fully vaccinated people that wants to travel to the Philippines? If you are one of those permitted travelers to the Philippines, fully vaccinated coming from the green list countries, you will only undergo 7 days quarantine. But if you are a fully vaccinated traveler coming from the country that is not listed on the green list, then you will have to do the 10 days quarantine. Good morning po. Tanong ko lang po, sa mga foreign husband po, saan po makakapagpa-vaccine? Taga saan po siya, Annalisa? Daniel, no interview scheduled for your fiance yet. Yeah, that's quite long, no? He said November. Did you guys track your papers online? Because I know you can track it with the receipt number. I plan on start K1 visa with my girlfriend here soon. She's in the Philippines, but I have not met in person yet due to the pandemic. Any advice? You cannot start a K1 visa process unless you guys have met in person. That's the number one requirement of a K1 visa. You have you have you have to meet in person. So they will not process your application if you have not met in person yet. So that is their number one requirement. If you haven't met her, it's a bit harder, right? Yes, it's true. If you have not met in person, you cannot apply. Well, you can try to apply for a K1 visa, but the requirements of the K1 visa, you have to send pictures of you together that you have met. You have to send, with my husband before, with our K1 visa, we have sent, I think we sent an album of pictures of us together to USCIS. We his plane ticket, his itinerary. I printed his itinerary that he really came to the Philippines. Receipts of hotels we stay in with both our names on it. Those are proof, because that's the proof the USCIS is looking for when you are applying for a K1 visa. You guys need to meet first. I mean vaccine test. What do you mean? What vaccine test? I guess I'm confused on that. Ma'am, ano po ba mabilis na process? Fiancé or spouse visa? Fiancé, spouse visa takes longer. Especially with the pandemic. Everything takes longer now because of the pandemic. Kasi they are short-staffed. Yes, that is correct. But I was told we could get all the paperwork done, and by the time the Philippines is open, it will make the process easier and move along fast. I just need some good news. Oh, yeah, you can gather up all the paperwork that you need. And by the time you meet, that's the key to it. The meeting in person, because that's the requirements. Then when you meet, get all that proof that you guys meet and submit the paperwork to USCIS. Negative vaccine certificate. What is Chris Polo asking? I'm a little confused. Nasa Cubao, Laguna po. Oh, he wants to be vaccinated here in the Philippines. I am not sure, John Annalisa, because my husband is also a foreigner and the vaccination rollout here in the Philippines is ongoing. The vaccination are for Filipino citizens here. So I am also finding out if he could avail the vaccines over here. Imagine like there's 1 million doses of vaccine now in the Philippines, and if we divide it by two, and that's just 500 peso Filipino being vaccinated, don't think able to open in the. You'll never know, Vincent. They might surprise us. You might want to consider online marriage, different process, but I believe you can enter sooner. That's what everybody's doing now, though. No interview yet. When we called them 2 weeks ago, they said we were in the background check status. Uh-oh. Background check status. Well, they do that. That's a normal process with USCIS. I was background check. My husband was background check. That's the norms. US citizen po siya, dito po siya simula September last year. He's planning to take me to Mexico. It doesn't, you still need to quarantine. The rule and the rules, the UHIATF always changes frequently. True na. Yes, that is very true. They change a lot. It's like by the time you go to bed and by the time you wake up, they have new protocols. Thank you. You're very welcome. So, has the CDC vaccine card been recognized so travelers can enter the Philippines? Any updates when the green list and will they put USA on the list? It's like it doesn't really matter if you have a vaccination card from the US because USA is not on the list. But according to Secretary Roque 3 days ago, that the list could be expanded. So they said that they will look into it every 2 weeks, that they would add more countries to the list every 2 weeks. So it's not been 2 weeks yet. So we await if that's really true. Ano po gagawin pag first time po lumabas sa bansa, ma'am? Kasama po ng husband, bakasyon lang po sana Mexico. So, if you are traveling, kung magta-travel ka with your husband, nakakuha ka ba ng visa to Mexico, Annalisa? Because I know Mexico will require a visa. And if you are a first-time traveler outside the Philippines, kailangan mong mag-seminar doon sa Commission on Filipino Overseas. Seminar yan, bibigyan ka ng sticker for first-time travelers outside the Philippines. You need a visa from the Mexican consulate or embassy and some money in your Philippine. Here that yes, that's the norms, Jess. When you apply for a tourist visa to a particular country, you have to have the show money. That's their term, show money. You have, because they need to see if you are capable of leaving the Philippines, that you are capable when it comes to supporting yourself in another country, that you will not be a public charge of that particular country. What type of Philippine visa should I look for domestic adopted kids? We complete the domestic adoption in the process of changing kids' last name to mine, but then looking to get them to the US. The adoption papers, correct? Not yet. 8 years for the total adoption because of corrupt. Really? That's how long the process took? That's long. Ma'am, ano po ba mabilis na process ang papers? Magpakasal po kami pagdating niya dito para madala niya ako sa US. Thank you. I wish it was a lot easier than that. That if you guys get married to the Philippines and you guys can fly back together to the US, hindi po ganyan kabilis ang process. So, ang pinakamabilis na process for you to get to the US is K1 visa. But like I said, if you guys are going to get married in the Philippines, hindi ka na pwede mag-apply ng K1 visa. If you get married in the Philippines, like you mentioned that when he gets to the Philippines, you guys are planning to get married, then you will have to go for the spousal visa. Spouse visa kung plano niyo magpakasal sa Pilipinas. Hindi ka na po pwede mag-apply ng K1 kung kasal na po kayo sa Pilipinas. K1 visa is only applied to those couple who are not married yet. If by this December Philippines still closes its door for travel, then I believe it will be at least earlier 2022, somewhere after September, that all tourists be allowed in the Philippines. That could be too. When Philippines open, can I still travel with my passport? We don't really know what's going to be the new rule, if they are going to just reinstate what the rules before the pandemic, that a foreigner can just travel to the Philippines with just his foreign passport. So nobody really knows that yet. When Philippine borders has finally opened for everybody, if, like I said, if they will just reinstate where they left before the pandemic, or will they have a new rule for foreign tourists entering the Philippines? Poor Dari. Sorry, I missed the beginning. What type what type of vaccine confirmation will the Philippines accept? I'm from Canada. You mean the brand or the paperwork, Stefan? When do you think an American can enter without quarantine? I don't really think the quarantine is going away pretty soon. In fact, I don't really think the quarantine will ever be removed as part of the safety protocols here in the Philippines. Oh, they said that you need to have an international certificate of vaccination, which I don't know where to get, really, to be honest. I have been searching on that, but Canada is not listed on the green list countries the Philippine government has provided. So regardless if you are vaccinated or not, you will have to undergo the 10 days mandatory quarantine. When my fiance gets an interview, will she able to come to USA without me, or will I have to go get her? She can travel. I traveled all by myself. During our interview, I was interviewed all by myself. Other applicants have their boyfriends with them when they had their K1 interview at the US Embassy Manila. It was just me and with my paperwork, and when my visa got approved, I also traveled to the US all by myself. That's really your option if you want. That's really your option if you want to be in the interview during her interview, because they said it has an advantage if the American fiance is with his girlfriend during the interview. They said there's an advantage to it, but I don't really know if it does. But like I mentioned, it was just me during our interview, and it was just me flying to the States. Awesome.
Remember, I also got our congressman involved.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Once issued a visa, she has 6 months to travel, but she can travel by herself. Yeah, she can travel. Mama Addie, do you perceive hotels trying to separate fiancé, boyfriends, and girlfriends like they have done for married couples and family members once the bubble? I was like, the Department of Tourism has already said that they can't separate couples that are staying in the hotel for quarantine. That's just flat ridiculous, you know. They they should not be doing that because they have already confirmed that they should stay in one room. Hey, there's the politics again. Thank you, Mom, for the info. Thank you. Send them with a stopover in Japan. Freaking turbulence scares me, Mocho. You're scared with turbulence, huh? Just wait, guys. Have patience. Soon they open. They can't close the country too long. So many have lost their jobs. Economy is on downhill. Surely they know this is happening. Yep, they do. Oh, for sure they care. They care and they just don't know what they are doing. So if I can come, then at least we can get together sooner. Sure, it's like Danielle, what my husband did with our K1 before, because with our K, this he was also advised to do it. We got our congressman involved to our case, and after he talked to our congressman in our state, our process went faster. So went faster, went smoother. So we actually got our, we did not had a lawyer and stuff. I went by, if you want actual applicants or experience of K1 visa, go to visajourney.com. You will learn a lot from that website. That's the website we use. There's a forum in there that you can post questions and they update you what month they are now approving at the National Visa Center, NVC, and it's a useful website. There's actually immigration lawyers over there that could answer your question. It's very good. It's visajourney.com, and we like I mentioned, we got our congressman involved during our K1 process, and it went smoother and quicker. Addie, can I be there with her during interview? It depends, Jeff. If you are allowed to enter the Philippines, then yes. But if the travel restriction is still the same, then I don't think they will let you in. I will give it a try. Thanks. Yeah, it's like he was. He really wanted me to be there as quickly as possible. So he made an appointment with our congressman, and it really did. It's like we applied April. We applied in April for my K1 visa, and it got approved like June. So 2 months process. So if you only have the control on the Philippine government, Richard, but unfortunately, you have to follow what their protocols are. So it sucks, but there's really nothing you can do. You can bitch, you can uh cuss, or you can you can just throw a fit, you can complain and all that. Even if you commit suicide, probably they're not gonna change it. That's just the reality to it.
DNC.
Yep, that's just the reality right now. You can complain all you want, but nothing's gonna happen with it because they are in control. You're not. That's the sad part about it. They are in control. Can't do anything but to wait.
I wish he was in control. He's probably just frustrated.
I know. Yeah, be quiet. Ma'am, ilang months po ba ang process ng spouse visa? Before the pandemic, it was only 6 months. But now, during the pandemic, because ang National Visa Center, may mga backlog nila. USCIS has backlogs on visa application that may take a while. Been doing all the above. Yep, nothing happens, right? That's just the reality to it. Going to US. Pandemic favors no one. Let's just hope that all able to travel to Philippines soon. I'm just going to miss all the food in Davao and Tagum City. I will eat for you, Vincent. For now. I will eat for you. Which food you want for me to ano? I can represent for you for the food in the Philippines. The husband is laughing at you, Vincent.
No, I'm laughing at you.
Oh, he's laughing at me though. That's not good. Yep, that's the sad reality. Like I said, we can cuss, we can, just like in this one group that I have joined. Filipinos are very fond of complaining. Why the quarantine? Why all this? Why all that? They already know. It's like they are the one, they want to come home to the Philippines. They already know what the protocols are in the Philippines, how long the quarantine is in the Philippines. They already know the chaos that they are going through to the Philippines when they go home, but still complain when they get here. That doesn't make sense. It's like you have a choice to avoid the chaos, to avoid the expenses and stuff. But if you accept, if you really want to pursue to come home to the Philippines, then don't complain, because you already know beforehand what's going to happen when you get to the Philippines. You already know beforehand that this is the protocol, this is the quarantine, this is the expenses that you are going to incur. It's not like it's a surprise for you when you get to the airport that, hey, you are going to go through all this. No. You know that beforehand, but still complain when they get here. It doesn't make sense talaga. It doesn't make sense at all. How long will it take? For what, Jerry? Newsflash, Richard, she's not running for that office. She's not. Even senator, she's not even running for senator. Vincent, go to Lucky Plaza, eat there if you miss Filipino food. See, Kenzo, I think Kenzo is from Singapore too. How long will it take for a 9A? It depends on the consulate, Jerry. It some gets approved quicker, some gets approved longer. How long does the process take to get married in the Philippines? To be honest, Toss, I don't know. We did not get married in the Philippines. Others, if somebody's here who get married in the Philippines, how long's the process? Going to take out on Pacquiao, will root against him next fight. Lol, he's a great man. Yeah, he's got an upcoming fight. How long will it take to get a 9A visa? Like I said, it depends on the Philippine consulate. Because applying for a 9A visa, you have to have the entry exemption document, which is longer to process. Yeah, I think she's not running for a higher position right now in the Philippines. I don't think she is. She already said that because there was a rumor that she's running for senator and stuff. I don't think she is going to run for a higher position. So, I have ano pa? I have listed some videos that I need to upload. Hopefully I'm able to do that today. Oh, I lost it. So, So, like I said, I will probably make a video on foreign nationals that are allowed to enter the Philippines this time. No? Because some are still confused with that and who's allowed. But I know. How's the weather in Jensen? Right now, it's gloomy. It's been raining here. I think we have a low pressure lurking around the area, and it's been raining every day. It's cold, actually. My husband has the air conditioner on, and I'm quite freezing already over here. I want to turn off the AC because I'm cold, but I know he's not gonna do that. But yep, 1.6 million of J&J just got here yesterday. And we all know J&J is a one-dose vaccine, so that should vaccinate 1.6 million Filipinos. Eaton Squad, will you ever go live in the US? No. That's a flat no, Jess. I love the US. US is my second home. Don't get me wrong. I love being being in the US. I love the luxury of the United States. But tell you what, whenever I go back to the US, it only takes me 1 week. Then I start complaining to my husband. I want to go back to the Philippines. That's really true. After I have ate all the cravings of the food that I missed in the US for that 1 week, I am ready to go back home. I don't think I will ever want to live in the US for good. To be honest, it's like I have nothing against the United States. Like I said, the United States is my second home. But I do enjoy living here in the Philippines. I enjoy the what do you call this? It's more relaxed to live over here than in the States. Plus in the States it's 10 times expensive than living here in the Philippines. So, but no. It's like vacation, yes. Living there, no. What's an entry exemption document? Entry exemption document is it's kind of like it's a request that the Department of Foreign Affairs approve to foreign nationals to be allowed entry into the Philippines. So you can't just enter with a 9A visa. You have to have it. You have to apply it both. Hello, ma'am. Are tourist foreigners still can come to the Philippines? Yes, po. They are still not allowed. You guys are great. Good evening. Need to go so I can get started on my letter to my congressman. Did I hang on, Daniel? Did you write a letter or did you just call the office? Can you still
I
remember?
went down to the office.
What he did before he went down to the office, and did you schedule an appointment? Because he actually talked to our congressman.
Actually, I talked to the representative of our congressman.
Oh, representative daw. And I think the representative course it through the congressman. So whatever works, Daniel.
But yeah, you can write a letter.
I am now at Lucky Plaza, and by going here, it's the closest that I can be to have the feel of being in the Philippines. That's really cool. Maybe when we go to Singapore one day, I will remember that Lucky Plaza. They are talking about opening travel bubble in the Philippines. Yes, this is in Boracay. They want to copy what Phuket, Thailand is doing, like the sandbox that fully vaccinated tourists can travel to the Philippines, specifically in Boracay, and stay there, like what Thailand is doing. Can USA travel to the Philippines in December only with a passport? I can't answer that right now. This is still July, but we'll never know because the Philippine government updates every 2 weeks and they get stricter or they loosen up some guidelines or protocols to the Philippines. I'm thinking about the end of this year they will open. That's what I thought too, December. Oh, see. Need to go through. The girlfriend is calling, and I will see you later on this evening. Thank you for everything. Tell her I said hi, Mike. See you guys tonight. With my luck, I'll send a request to my U.S. representative and U.S. immigration. We'll lose our application. Lots of luck. Why?
He says, with his luck.
Oh, with your luck. Oh,
In other
okay.
words, he's trying to say if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all.
Uh-oh. Yeah, but that's what I did. But that was what, 13 years ago? But I still visit the visajourney.com. That's the website, the forum we joined when we started our K1 visa, and there has really no changes on the process of the K1 visa. It's still the same 13 years ago when we processed our K1 visa. It's like when my application got approved by the National Visa Center, it was forwarded here in Manila. So I had to schedule my interview. This is a tip to K1 visa holders or K1 visa applicants. When your K1 visa is approved, they forward it here in Manila. When you call for a schedule of interview, especially if your fiance is living outside Manila, schedule the interview like 1 week prior, because that's what we did. 1 week prior, because the medical takes 2 days process. So then I had to undergo the CFO seminar. That's also 1 day. Then our interview, because you won't proceed on your interview unless you get approved with your medical. So you have to pass your medical first, x-ray, the whole 9 yards. They will check you from the tip of your head to the tip of your toe without clothes. I'm telling you that now. So your fiance is ready. So when you pass your, you will know that you pass your medical process when they give your fiance her Philippine passport back. Because if they hold your Philippine passport, meaning there is something wrong on your medical process, then you can't proceed on your interview with the U.S. Embassy. You will have to reschedule that. I just need to get to Manila and Davao. Not a beach person, so Boracay not for me. So you're from Davao, Jess? Or your fiance from Davao? Hi, are you guys in Philippines or USA? We're in the Philippines right now, Chaz. Can New Zealand travel as a tourist? Right now, Walter, tourism, international tourism is closed in the Philippines. Good night, Pips, and thanks for your info. Good night from beautiful San Francisco Bay, visiting some family. Have a good weekend, Jess. Take care, be safe. Uh, get some tacos, get some Subway sandwiches, please. Or if you guys happen to go to a Chinese buffet, eat some crab legs for me and crawfish. That's the food I miss in the US. I like Subway. I always order Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Sometimes I go with marinara sauce with meatballs and stuff. I love tacos. We do make tacos over here, like Mexican tacos. Uh, I miss eating a Chinese buffet in the US, especially the crab legs and crawfish. I can get crab legs, not the same crab legs that we have in the US, the Alaskan crab legs, but we can get I can get crab legs in the US. Oh, I just want to share my experience. I arrived here in the Philippines last week. The immigration asked me my old passport, even if I have it. Really? Wow. They said old Philippine passport or PSA. Hay nako, they keep changing that rule. I applied for the K1 February 2020. They have done nothing with it. Call your congressman, Chaz. Steak burritos. Yep, yum yum. Dylan D vlog. It has to be the originals. Oh, wait. Can I travel with me and my kids with US passport? I still didn't get the originals for their birth. Is that okay if it's not? Yeah, like Richard said, it has to be the original. My fiance is in Davao, and if the Philippines don't open by October, I will be flying her to either Palau or the Bahamas to get married. That's another option. That's a good option. Chaz, say it ain't so. You mean February 2021? Please, ouch. Oh, wow. That's over a year? Because during the Trump administration, they have stopped the process on that. Then, when the Biden administration came into the picture, they have resumed. So, those applications during the Trump administration is now being processed during the Biden administration. So, the backlogs are very long. What other bubble location you can speculate to open along with beautiful Boracay? I could see Palawan. I could see because it's an island. So I think they are aiming to those uh has lesser population that is quicker to vaccinate, and Palawan is one of those.
Yeah, but Boracay isn't. What they're
Boracay is an
aiming
island,
for is the major tourist
which
attractions.
is Boracay. Boracay is a major tourist destination.
Boracay, Palawan,
Palawan, I could see them doing that in Palawan as well.
the Chocolate Hills.
Bohol has a lot. Bohol right now, Bebe, is on surge. So I don't think they will do it. I've given up on K1. Now I'm just waiting for the Philippines to allow tourists. And I will retire in the Philippines and marry my fiance in the Philippines. So it's really, I called my senator still nothing. Wow. Like I said, Chaz, they are just resuming the process. Whoa. Yeah, they have so much backlogs. I'm telling you, it's been 17 months and my K1 visa application is dead. Oh my gosh. What document I'm going to need to enter the Philippines from the US? You are flying as a foreign tourist, or are you flying as a foreign spouse of a Filipino national, or are you flying as a foreign parent of a Filipino national? At Jeremiah. I can't get into the Philippines without the original birth certificate for my kids. My trip will be this Wednesday. And I just got my passport and still waiting for the originals. Please give me advice. Were you able to secure the 9A visa and the entry exemption document, Dylan? Can tourists travel to Boracay? When they open up, yes, but right now they are still working on it. Philippine Airlines po ba pag departure sa Terminal 2 na po ba ngayon? Yes. Kasi dati, the departure terminal was Terminal 1. Ngayon, Terminal 2 na. Na-announce nila yan. Tourist. Unfortunately, no. Tourists are still not allowed. I am naturalized here. Oh, so you're a naturalized U.S. citizen. Oh, and you're traveling to the Philippines. You don't need the birth certificate. You just need your foreign passport and your old Philippine passport or your birth certificate. Are your family here in the Philippines? Thank you. You're welcome. That is of course when they allow tourists. Oh, yeah, if they allow tourists, I am not sure if they are going to go if they are just going to reinstate what was the rule before when a foreign tourist enters the Philippines. So nobody knows that yet. Like I said, if they are just going to reinstate what the rule was before the pandemic. So we await for that announcement. I have my PSA and old Filipino passport, and we just got our American passport, but still not get the origin. I get the originals. No, if you are a former Filipino, Dylan, you can travel with your U.S. passport. Like bring your PSA in your old Filipino passport. You should be able to you travel. You don't need to have your kid's birth certificate anymore for that. I hear your husband. Tell him I say hi. Hi, Dal. Just Chas said.
Hello.
How about my kids? They are traveling with me. Oh, your kids are traveling with you? Oh, your kids are traveling with you. Yikes. They might need the original for that though, Dylan. Has anyone here flew to the Philippines with their kids just showing the copy of their birth certificate? Can you guys please help Dylan? Because as far as I know, they need the original for that, Dylan. If you show money, is 200,000 pesos enough for stay of one whole month in the Philippines after this pandemic? Sure, that should be enough.
Depends upon where you're staying at, too.
Oh, he's Davao. That should be enough if you stay in Davao and Tagum. In Manila, good luck to that 200,000. Tourists will be allowed to enter the Philippines July 15, 2029. I hope not, Chaz. That's way too long. Nonetheless, what document will I need? Or a passport and vaccination card sufficient? More likely, those are the two that they probably need when they finally open up. But like I said, this is the Philippines and they are fond of documentation. So those two will probably be needed and more. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really thank you guys for all those questions, and I'm really hoping that I was able to answer that. So thank you to the 29 watchers that are here right now, 30 watchers. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family whom you know that can use this video as reference when you travel to the Philippines, especially the questions that's being asked. If you guys have related questions traveling to the Philippines, so we have 15 minutes more before we wrap this up. 15 minutes more, guys. If you still have those questions with traveling to the Philippines or immigration, K1 process and stuff. So, yeah, like I said, with our K1 before, but this is pre-pandemic though. K1, we applied in April. We got approved in June. I got my interview around August, and I was on my way to the States 1st of September. If more is needed, what would you recommend? If more is needed on documentation, for sure, I will almost bet when the Philippines is open, they will probably start requiring a visa for foreign tourists. But not as hard process like they are doing now. Because that's what they said before, that they will not do free visa anymore. They will probably require for a visa for foreign tourists when they open back up again. Mm, 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 mm. So, yeah, like I said, 15 more minutes and we can wrap this up. It's almost lunchtime here in the Philippines. My brother is cooking spaghetti, some pork rib, and some. Then I'll be making some Caesar salad. You want Caesar salad, Beth?
Sure.
Sure. As in sure, sure. My husband is not even sure if he wants salad. I don't know what's wrong with him today. He's just laughing at me. He's weird. He's acting weird. You are weird. So.
Of course, I married you.
Chaka.
Sure.
So are we going to do LDR? Are you guys still up for LDR tonight? You guys still up for LDR tonight? I think everybody's waiting for the LDR. As long as everybody is nice tonight, though. LDR discussion. So 13 minutes more before we wrap this up. So our would you just contact the Philippine Embassy in LA to apply for that visa? How would you apply for that visa? You have to submit some documents. If you are planning to apply for that visa at LA, go to their website. They should have a list of requirements on how to secure the visa. You will have to send the documents to them along with your passport because that is where your visa is going to be attached. I'm also traveling August 18. I don't have old Philippine passport, so I'm going to bring my birth certificate. I'm allowed to enter the Philippines. Thanks. According to John Kenneth Reyes, he just arrived last week, but and he only brought his PSA birth certificate, and he said the Philippine immigration officer looked for his old Philippine passport. But but John Kenneth, if you are still around, I assume they still let you in, right? Because that's on their website. That's actually on the Bureau of Immigration website. Old Philippine passport or birth certificate. There's or. They did not say old Philippine passport and birth certificate. They said old Philippine passport or birth certificate. I would print that and show that to them like, hey, you guys even have it printed in your pages or your website and you're asking me my old Philippine passport. I would print it. I just read a message from friend in USA and saying that the embassy is open for tourists already to enter the Philippines. Is it true? No. It's not open yet. Nope, it's not open yet. Thank you so much for answering my questions. This will be my first trip to the Philippines and I want to make sure everything is in order. Jeremiah, are you traveling for leisure when the Philippine border is finally open, or are you meeting somebody here in the Philippines? Just curious. You don't need to answer that though. I know it's not of my business. I was just asking, but it's okay if you don't answer that.
Please answer her. She'll drive me nuts otherwise.
No, I'm not gonna. You don't say that.
Sure, I did.
Like I said, my husband is acting weird right now. I don't know what did. He just ate donut this morning and he's acting like that already. 10 more minutes, guys. 10 more minutes. One more question. Where in the States do you get the DDS exemption? Philippine Embassy or Philippine Consulate? So, what state you are in, Jerry? So we have Philippine consulates in Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, Texas, Houston, Texas. Illinois. Okay, so you can apply from the Philippine consulate in Chicago. That's where I applied before. That's where I renewed my Philippine passport. And we traveled to Chicago on December. Never again. Good Lord, that place is so cold. The windy state in the States during winter time. Holy moly. I'm never gonna travel to Chicago during winter time. Holy, oh just go Lord. The snow was yes. It's like I'll probably go back. We went to the Navy Pier. We rode that humongous Ferris wheel. Oh my god, it almost killed me. It was too high. And our hotel was actually close to the Philippine consulate over there. And we just walked. And oh my god, the wind is just yes, meeting someone. Been waiting 2 years. Oh, that's cool. Oh, he answered. He said he's meeting someone.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, Jeremiah. Your husband seems like a cool guy and a very good bana asawa. Yeah, he is. I haven't killed him yet, so keyword yet. But yeah, he's really cool. I'm looking at the time constraint and I'm wondering if everything is going to work. Um, so we will see. I don't, to be honest, I don't really know when are they going to open, especially now that this Delta variant again is in the Philippines. And I could almost see them going to be more stricter again in our borders, and they have actually added one country on the travel ban list, which is the Indonesia. So we'll never know because of this Delta variant. This is the basis of their decisions right now on the Delta variant, because they said this Delta variant is actually 10 times dangerous than compared to the previous variants of COVID-19. So don't know. Sometimes it's an excuse, I guess. Oh, poor Nami. Our dog is sick. So 6 more minutes, guys. 6 more minutes. You should try the snow in Raidersburg, Montana. Ha ha ha. No, thank you. I know Montana is very beautiful during winter time because I think that's where everybody go fishing, go hunting during winter time. But no, thank you, Jeremiah. I'm not just like I love snow, but I don't like the feel of it. We live in Mississippi. We get snow once in every 3 years or 4 years if we are lucky. So we live down south, but our temperature goes down to like 40s, sometimes really go down to 20s, but we never go down below -0. But that is still cold. Around 50s, 40s, it's already cold. I have probably 3 layers of clothes already when I go out of the house. You want me to go to Montana? You are going to kill me, Jeremiah. That's a very cold place. I can't stand snow. I was like, just in Mississippi, like I said, we don't get snow once every 3 years. We're lucky every 2 years, or we don't probably get snow at all. But it's already cold. Our lowest temperature there is on the 20s, but
I wear shorts all winter down
yeah,
in
my
Mississippi.
my husband wears shorts during winter time in Mississippi. He's originally from Kansas. I can't stand the winter in Kansas as well. Good Lord, never. I was like, I love snow. I just don't like the feel of it, and I can't stay longer on. I was like, in the house, our heater is on. When I go to bed, I have my electric blanket with me because it's cold. The Philippines will not let tourists, not this year, not next year. You'll never know, Chaz. Like I said, like I always say, the Philippine government might surprise us. My fiance's name is on the waiting list for the vaccine. When will it be distributed with your area, and what vaccine is available there? Our vaccine here right now, what they're giving out is Sinovac, AstraZeneca. They have some on the Pfizer vaccine, but we are waiting on the Pfizer vaccine. I've heard. I'm not sure if this is confirmed. I've heard that the U.S. doesn't recognize Sinovac, so we are very careful on what vaccine we are going to have. Sinovac. So we are waiting for the Pfizer. I'm still doing my research. I'm still doing my research on where to have where we can list oh, on the waiting list for Pfizer because we don't get a lot of Pfizer over here. We might end up paying if we have to. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. The flu does not exist anymore.
Oh, it still exists.
Yep.
It's just been overshadowed.
Yeah, overshadowed with the current virus, which is the COVID-19. So I wanted to thank you guys for being here today. Thank you so much for joining our live, for asking those questions, and I hope I'm able to answer those questions, those concerns, travel concerns, protocols, quarantine, and all that. I really want to thank you guys for being here, for joining me live. I do live every Sunday because I can't answer all the comments that's posted on the video that I upload every day. I upload almost every day. Make sure to click that notification bell so you will be notified every time we have new uploads in our travel update. So I really thank you guys for being here. I thank you for those questions you guys ask. Hello, I'm here. My husband don't want me to have a Chinese vaccine. He wants Pfizer, Moderna. Yeah, that's what we want. So we want Pfizer, Moderna, or J&J.
J&J preferably.
I have asked in Australia to receive as SR, but I'm not allowed to have it from overseas. No, Michael. Michael, you have to apply it here in the Philippines. You can't apply it abroad. My brother went to the doctor and asked if he had the flu. The doctor said there is no flu. It's all about COVID-19. If your husband is a veteran, you and him can receive it free through VA in Manila. Really? Halakada, we have to go to Manila and get the vaccine. Yeah, he's a veteran. At the VA in Manila, right? Do we have to schedule an appointment? Me and him? What vaccine did you get, Jonathan? Da. We have to go to Manila, da. Don't me. I'm serious. If you can get it in at the VA, there's really not the best place to get it is at the VA. You know? I would have to coordinate with the VA in Manila. So you can, but we live in Jensen though, Jonathan. We live in Mindanao, so we have to fly to Manila and able to get it. You know? What's that? Veterans Affair? VA?
Veterans Administration.
Oh, Veterans Administration. Veterans Affair. Oh, Pfizer da. That's really good. So can you walk me through the process, Jonathan? Do we need to set up an appointment with the VA? What does he need to show the VA enable for him to get for us to get the vaccine? Am I included as a wife? Because he's got the VA card. He's got his VA ID over here. Oh, it's near the embassy. It's near the embassy. Contact Mark Fevria, who is the RSSO military advisor in Manila. That's where you got your vaccination, Jonathan? Can I apply SRV from Australia to the Philippines? No, Michael, you have to be in the Philippines to apply for SRRV. They don't do applications of SRRV abroad. Or the post 2485 in Angeles City. Yes, you are. Oh, okay. Alada. We may have to look into that. Getting our vaccines at the VA in Manila.
It's going to be expensive.
Rather than wait and get the virus and get hospitalized, then that's going to get so expensive.
Because you know what hotel we have to stay in and you know where we have to go.
No, 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 no. We can't stay in that hotel. And newsflash, the casinos are closed right now. They don't open casinos in Manila.
Hmm.
That don't me. I will give you further information. Hey, Jonathan, we have a Facebook page. Same handle, the Eton Squad. You can direct message me there, please. If I would really want to know the information on that, because we will really want to do the Pfizer vaccine. And if we wait over here, it's never gonna happen. I don't even think if he's going to be vaccinated with the LG, if they are going to vaccinate him at the LGU over here, because he's a foreigner. What they're doing right now are for only Filipino citizens. So VA is really an option for us, even if we have to fly to Manila to get it. But Jonathan, please, if you do me a favor, we have a Facebook page, same handle, the Eton Squad. Can you please direct message me there for the information? I would really like the information. I'm here in California, but I am a longtime member of the VFW in Angeles City. As for Mr. Cliff, we'll see. Your husband applied for 13A visa. We are planning to retire. Yes, we are on the process on that. It's just that the mess up on the NBI is longer. But yes, he is going to. We are on the process of his 13A. Sounds good. Yeah. Better at the VA. Yes, it's that's our option if we really want the Pfizer, because if we wait for, like I said, he's a foreigner. I don't think he's going to be covered on the vaccination rollout in the Philippines. So yeah, the VA would be our option. Will do. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you so much. So guys, I would like to thank everyone for joining us live today. Maraming salamat. I will see you guys on our next live. We do this every Sunday, morning in the Philippines, evening US time. And if you guys happen to have questions when it comes to travel and immigration concerns, you can message me to our through our Facebook and Instagram, same handle, the Eton Squad. I respond there as soon as I can. So you can direct message me on Facebook page, on Facebook and Instagram, same handle, the Eden Squad. I thank you guys so much for your participation, for joining me live today, and I will see you guys on our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye. Thanks.